Torchwood, Adrift, the 11th episode of Series 2, is written by Chris Chibnall and starring John Barrowman, Eve Miles, Bern Gorman, Narako Mori and Gareth David Lloyd. So apparently this accounts for the lack of availability of some of the regular cast members. Unlike the rest of the episodes in this series, this episode was not solely produced by regular series Richard Stokes, but by guest producer Sophie Fante, mostly focusing on Gwen, Andy and this woman called Nikki Bevan. Plus Ruth Jones was excited and scared at the same time as it's a serious role, and she's been in comedy. I think she did really well. Again, Eve Miles is great as Gwen Cooper, and so is Tom Price as PC Andy Davidson. So this episode begins with a boy called Jonah Bevan walking home, and a mysterious bright light appears and he vanishes after he texts his mum, Nikki. So Gwen and PC Andy looks at the footage. 7 months later, Tosh discovers that these disappearances happened during a negative spike of Rift activity, which were previously discarded as aftershock. Gwen lets Jack know about the missing people, so he tells her that nothing can be done and stop with the investigation, but Gwen refuses. Because it was too important to her, it causes an argument between her and Reese when he wants to have a kid, and she decided to change the subject. And Reese has a good point. If she starts prioritising Torchwood over their personal lives, then their marriage won't last very long. Deal with her work problems at work and deal with personal life not in work. I find it really funny when Gwen walks into Jack and Yanto smooching with their tops off and grabbing each other. So she walks off laughing and apologises for interrupting their sexual intercourse. A funny line is when Jack says, "Always room for one more. We could have used you an hour ago for naked hide and seek," and Nianto's like, "Cheats, he always cheats." So, moving on. Gwen tells Jack that she wants to continue the investigation, but Jack said no, then walks back into his office. Nianto secretly gave Gwen the information of a hidden location. Poor Andy, as Gwen got him to order a coffee so she can sail away in the boat, leaving Andy in the docks. Gwen travels to Flat Holm, which is in an island in south-southeast of Cardiff Bay in the middle of the Bristol Channel. Obviously there was something going on. Tosh doesn't know about it, but Jack definitely does. In the facility, Gwen notices all the names are missing people, and she spots Jack there and demanding him to see Jonah. And apparently he has aged 40 years and is very deformed. The makeup looks terrifying. We find out that Jack set up the facility when he became the leader of Torchwood to care of victims of the Rift, which is a great explanation. So Gwen tells Nikki that she's found Jonah, and then she phones Andy, who understandably is still pissed for using him, to tell Nikki that she's not mad. So Nikki and Gwen went to the facility and she was horrified and thinks that's not her son, but then Jonah tells her things that only he'd know, which made Nikki realise that's her son, which is a great reunion. But staff asks them to leave, but Nikki refuses and wants to take Jonah home, but he's growing distressed and he's starting to scream, which is terrifying. They were originally going to use effects, but the actor Robert Pugh wanted to give it a go, and hey, it worked. It's insane that he screams 20 hours a day because he looked into the heart of the Dark Star, which drove him insane. That must be stressful for the staff and the clients. So in the end, a week later, Gwen lets Nikki know that she can visit her son anytime, but she wishes that she didn't know about it because she had hope before she found out, which is really sad to watch. So Reese asks Gwen what happened, and she told him about Jonah. Man, what an episode. What did you guys think of Adrift? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and I've got the last 2 episodes of Torchwood Series 2 to go now.